Welcome back. It's time for the fifth and last relay of our Rattlesnake match. There's a few things we need to cover before we get to the shooting, so let's get right to it. The first is the definition of match. This particular match is, well, depending on the organizing body, either a match or an organized practice. The F-Class point series considers it a match. The NRA would consider it an organized practice. That is, if NRA Competitions Division was actually operating right now. The reason is simple. The targets, those guys, they are not standard targets. They don't have any rings outside of the center. So the entire 8 ring is missing. The entire 7 and 6 rings are missing from the target, which makes it really hard for people like me that tend to hold on the target rather than dial the windage. If you look at the standings, after the first relay, we were tied on points, but I was down 6 X's. As I said, that beta test cartridge is not producing enough X's. After the second relay, still tied, now down 12 X's. Third relay, I picked up an X, but lost a point. This is not going well for me. Second place solidly, and no hope in sight, right? After the fourth relay, I'm now up a point and only down 10 X's. So coming into this fifth relay, it's really tight. It's going to get spicy. You need to stick around and watch. First mistake I need to tell you about is that downrange Mirage camera didn't record this relay. So I have none of that footage available for you. Okay, let's talk about the first mistake. I showed up on this relay with a pre-planned strategy for shooting this relay. I knew the wind had shifted, it had turned into a headwind, and I knew what I was going to do. That was a mistake. Your strategy and your plan should morph from moment to moment as you're shooting to shoot effectively.
I will not take those. I promise you that will not help you. No, I'm not gonna take those either. That is crapshoot of all crapshoots right there. Buying in, Bo? What? You buying in? Yeah.
Okay, here's my second big mistake. As you can see by the eye roll, I'm frustrated already. We're only a couple shots in, and I can't figure out what's going on downrange. What I should have done at this point is just stop.
You can delete that shot, right? Or hide it.
I got no idea. Well, let's pray for good things there. 9, 2 on. I guess I'll take a 9. 10, 3 on.
Just a straight to him. Be the ball.
Nine, 3 on. Had a shot at 7. X, 4 on. Thank you.
Okay, here's another problem. With this wind starting to blow up big from right to left, I'm going to have to hold off that center. I don't want to dial at this point because it's been switching so much. I don't know if I can get done while that wind is still big, and I don't want to take a chance on it. My red dot is going to move on to the other picture over to where I am over there. That's just an approximation of where I'm holding because the shot marker is sized to look just like that center is down on the target. Okay, all done. Didn't throw anything. I'll call that a success. You know, I like to say that you learn from losing, not winning. It's not entirely true. You learn when you win if you're paying attention, but you learn more when you lose. I lost big on this one, took second place. Not real proud of that result, but in the area that I work and live in, there are 5 excellent shooters in the area, and any one of them can win any given day. So I don't have much choice but to lose on a pretty frequent occasion. I'm no better than anyone else. I'm about equal with these 5 shooters. And these are some of the top shooters in the country. So what do? I take my lessons, I keep track of them, and I try to learn from them so I don't make the same mistakes again. I have a lot of them to learn, so let's kind of go through them real quick here. Lesson number 1, don't show up with a plan. Really simple, right? Don't show up with a plan. Lesson number 2, make sure you're on waterline. Drag it to the waterline. Always drag it to the waterline. Don't worry about the group size. Drag the shots to the waterline so you score better. We're not shooting groups, we're shooting for score. Third one, when you don't know what to do, stop doing it. It's that simple. If you don't know where to hold for the next shot, stop. The Mirage in this case was this jumbled mess downrange. There were about 6 zones between me and the target, all going different directions. I should have stopped and waited. My competitor did, and took advantage of the opportunity when that wind did blow up from the right, because that was callable, that was holdable, and worked out real well for him. Last but not least, bring a good shooting rifle. The beta test rifle, I knew we were testing, so it wasn't a big deal, but it did not produce the X's that I needed to stay in the lead. All right, that's all the lessons that I have for today. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. I'm going to do some different content next week because there's no matches for about 3 weeks here in the area. Until next time, shoot straight, and I'll see you in the next video.